welcome to the Superbone channel. We're interviewing top trombonists from around the world for International Trombone Week 2020. And next up is Eric Budd, all the way from Melbourne, Australia. Say hi, Eric.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. Eric is a multi-instrumentalist. Actually, I don't know how many instruments you do play. I've seen a few over the years. He was a clinician at the Hungarian Trombone Boot Camp in 2017, so some of you may know him from that. And he's a very active member of the Melbourne jazz and commercial scene. One of the highlights playing with Michael Buble at the 2013 Logie Awards. It's good to see you, Eric. You've been featuring on some of the Superbone videos that have been going up, and it sounds amazing, you're playing. Let's crack on into a question. Let's talk about your favourite jazz trombonist.
Sure. Look, it's always a hard one to answer because there's so many, but one that really stands out is Nils Lundgren for me. And I remember being very inspired by him, I think roughly about year 11, so that maybe all of 16, 17. By the time I got to Germany in 2000, I wrote to him. I was spending 3 months there. I said, Nils, you know, I'm in Germany for 3 months here. I'd love to see if there's any chance. And it just so happened in a couple of weeks he was playing not only an hour away from me in Hanover, and in an old castle. It was him and Esbjørn Svensson.
Yes.
Yes, I remember writing to Nils and saying, you know, I'd love to see you. And it happened they were playing about an hour from us. I was in a little town called Gifhorn near Hanover, and so he gave me free tickets to go and see it. It was playing this Swedish folk music in, you know, in the middle of nowhere, this huge castle type thing, and VIP front row tickets. It was amazing with wine and cheeses. He really looked after me.
Yeah.
But yeah, pianist Esbjørn Svensson himself, you know, Nils playing trombone just beautifully and singing. It was, yeah, absolutely stunning.
Brilliant. Do you have a favourite recording of his?
Yeah, I do have a favourite recording. Look, there's lots from him, and whether that's funk stuff or almost folk stuff or whatever, he just can go across any style. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
The one I'm choosing now is called Silent Way, and it's playing with the NDR Big Band at the Jazz Baltica 2007. But his sound is just so pure, and it just really cuts right through me.
Mm. Oh, brilliant player. I think my favourite recording is his ABBA album, which has a bit of hip-hop on it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I mean. You can just do anything.
Yeah. Out of everything he does, what would you like to take from his playing?
Look, there's so much, but what I really love about him is that he's got chops to burn. You know, he can play high and fast, but doesn't need to. He's got so much taste and, you know, maturity and musicality, which, to be honest, is something I always struggle with. I feel I'm really coming into my own in the last couple of years. I love that he can jump over, you know, any style, and he's really approaches it more like a voice than a weapon. He can really sort of milk every nuance and get a breathy attack or play as hard as he wants. And as I said before, like, his tone is just so pure, and his intonation's amazing.
Yeah. And
aside from just the technical aspect of playing, I just love that he can really connect with the audience, and it's all full of emotions.
Yeah, he's quite a big showman. Everything I watch of his, he's very engaging. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's get on to your career, Eric. Who was your first teacher or your biggest influence in jazz?
Look, I've been really, really blessed. I've had lots of great teachers, but one of the biggest, I'd actually call him more of a mentor than a teacher, was Gil Askey. And Gil Askey, he's no longer with us now, but he was one of the musical directors with Motown, arranging, and man, he did everything. He knew everyone, and a larger than life, you know, Afro-American, came out here from Texas, and he's, you know, he'd always go on, man, I came in here to retire, but he was on about, you know, just bringing happiness to people.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just playing notes; it was really playing, you know, feelings and connecting with people, and there's lots of life messages as well as musical things that I learned from him. Really special.
Brilliant. Eric, everyone's got a story about a performance that they had that something didn't quite go right and was quite amusing. Do you have a story for us?
I got plenty of those sort of stories. Look, doing the Hungarian boot camp, I'll say that was one that in a long time I was actually quite nervous about. I'm fairly lucky. I grew up doing dancing and stuff on the stage since I was 3, but I don't really get nervous. But I was called to do this Hungarian boot camp with Zoltan Kish, who happens to be a very good friend of mine, but also Marshall Gil's playing. And man, that guy is just insane.
Yeah.
Trumpet in the quintet with him. Zoltan joined us for a tune, and I was already like, ah! But the music was, mind-blowingly fast and had to be really, technical. And so I really practiced hard for that gig. And, I was able to play it on stage, but I just remember the whole time feeling like the thorn between two roses, if you like. It was really amazing. But the whole, the club was decked out with these incredible trombone players all across the world, and which I guess made me the best trumpet player in the room. That's always a plus. But, one of these tunes, the crossover it's called, is almost semi-baroque. It's really light but fast articulation, and Marshall just absolutely carved it up. The room just, blew the roof off with applause, and I just remember holding my horn going, oh, what the hell am I going to do? And I picked it up, and well, here goes. And I was just really thinking it's hard not to get caught up in the excitement or feel the need to prove yourself in that kind of setting. And I just remember thinking the whole time, what am I going to do after that? And I just grabbed my horn and went, well, here goes nothing. So I started off with a couple of timid little lines, and then, before too long, of course, I was playing high and fast and doing all the obnoxious trumpet playing stuff. And I sort of got, a few little woos from the audience, but I just knew that I had to get something from the audience, and I was running out of stuff to do. I had to start recycling material, and then all of a sudden I just played the opening little lick, if you like, of the David trombone concerto. And the whole room just went, woo! And I loved it.
Brilliant. No, that's great. Phenomenal players. Obviously, that boot camp must have just been an incredible experience.
Oh, it really was. Really was.
Eric, thanks for joining us for the interview. One thing we'd like to do is just, spotlight something that you're doing at the moment. Do you have a current project you're about to work on?
Look, to be honest, there's nothing really live, of course, that I'm working on, but one thing that's exciting, and it's a little bit different, is this embracing technology and collaborating with different people. So I will say one of my best friends is Jeremy Diffey, who's an amazing multi-instrumentalist, singer, piano player, arranger, engineer. It helps that he's awesome arranger, and he's going to throw me some stuff. We'll do some collaborations and recordings together, and I'll record from my studio. He'll spice it all together. I think that's going to be really fun. Nice.
Yeah. We're all trying to do a bit of that. I've got a few on the go at the moment, just waiting for everyone to send all their stuff through, really. But it is exciting times, really, when you can create something that, at least all being at home, at least we're sort of still collaborating and still working with other musicians. I think I'd go a bit nuts if I didn't have that.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. I think, there's lots of positives that's going to come out of this isolation, if you like. Yep. I see lots of people just being creative, whether that's, the stupid memes you see or actual recordings or collaborations between all sorts of different people and walks of life. I don't know, it's quite special. Yeah, it's great. Thank you so much for joining us, Eric. It's been good to see your face again and hear about a few stories about your career, your influences. We'll have some of the links in the description for all you back home. And thank you very much for joining us on the Superbone channel. Thanks, Eric. No worries, Michael. Good to see you, mate. On the Superbone channel. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please like, share and subscribe. We'll see you again.